What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Thursday, April 9th, 2026. My name is Christopher Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me today as she just wrapped up a Final Four up in Indianapolis that was extremely busy with multiple divisions, Division 2, Division 1, Division 3, and more than that. Her name is Spencer Tuttle, not to be confused with Turtle. It's Tuttle, Tuttle, and we're going to talk to her about her why of getting into sports. We're also going to talk to her and get to know her outside of her occupation and ask some fun questions. So without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful, talented, and the beautiful Spencer. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm flattered.
I'm definitely flattered too. I really am. I'm happy that you said yes, and I'm really just intrigued by your story, by just listening to everyone's story that I talked to, but your story as well. And I want to ask this first question, as I normally do with every guest that I have on here, Spencer, and that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models, any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for wanting to be in the media industry and sports?
So my why, I love watching and capturing people, reaching their dreams and their goals. I think college athletics is it's such a beautiful industry because there are so many stories and so many student athletes that, we don't always see, and telling their stories like on the NCAA stage is just something that I'm really passionate about, and I just love finding these really unique stories. So definitely seeing people reach their goals. And growing up, I will say, I was actually talking to my parents about this recently. My parents were very strategic. They only took us to women's sporting events. So we grew up around UVA. I'm from Virginia, so Virginia, JMU, all those schools around there. And my parents took us to, UVA volleyball games. They took us to JMU women's basketball games. Yep. Obviously, we went to football games too as well. But it was really cool to see women in these, athletic positions. And my parents were always like, you could be on the court. You can do this. I am not very athletic, so I have found my passion on the other side.
Sure.
But growing up, there was never like a question of like, could I do this? It was more just like when and how. So I really admire my parents for their belief in me from a very young age.
Yeah, shout out Mr. and Mrs. Tuttle. No question about it. And listen,
Yeah.
you can say you're not athletic, but the creativeness, I mean, anybody follows your social media, they know your fashion game is on point. If anybody follows
Oh,
that,
thank
that's
you.
for sure. No question about that. So creativity wise, you are there. No question. I want to ask you this bonus question though, because you say you're from Virginia. So are you a Washington fan? Are you someone that's a Washington fan? Are you for baseball? Are you like Orioles? Are you Nationals? Because you've always had that rivalry with baseball. And then for Washington, are you a Washington football fan?
So I will say I am not from that area. I'm from the mountains in a very small town called Staunton, Virginia. So
Right.
we are far enough away from like the Northern Virginia teams that like we don't really like. People in my town claim them. I never grew up claiming them.
Right.
My parents were very more like college sports.
Oh, okay.
And then I have family in Charlotte, so like we claim, the Charlotte teams a bit, but
Sure.
I'm not. I now claim Indianapolis teams, so like the Pacers, Colts. I'm like, I live here, I'm all about it, but not really. Growing up, we didn't really. Some of my family did, but mine not really as much.
Absolutely. And listen, Indianapolis is one of my favorite cities that I will ever go to. I will always speak glowingly about Indianapolis. I was just there actually late February, early March covering the combine. So I always love going to Indianapolis. And they have one of my favorite juice bars I've ever went to, like smoothie juice bars. I forget the name of it, but it's like downtown Indianapolis. And I'm a huge smoothie person. So yeah, I love that. But yeah, I like that. Now you went to Virginia Tech, so you are a Hokie alumni.
I
No
am.
question about that. Now, obviously being from Virginia, I want to ask you, were there any other schools that you were considering going to, or was Virginia Tech always your number one school?
Yeah, so I was considering a bunch of schools. I did know when my sister toured Virginia Tech. She's older than me. Sophomore year of high school, I like got on campus for the first time, and I was like, I love this place. And I kind of knew in the back of my mind I was going to end up there, but I didn't want to admit it because my mom was like, "You're going to end up here," and I was like, I don't want my mom to be right. Like,
Right.
I'm going to figure it out myself.
Right.
She was right. Shout out to mom.
Mm-hmm.
But I applied to James Madison, where my sister ended up going. I applied. I'm a Hokie at heart. I did apply to Virginia though. No hate on the Wahoos, they're great, but I am a Hokie at heart. I applied to like a few other schools in the state, but Virginia Tech was like always where I was meant to go.
I love that. I do. I've never been to Blacksburg. I believe that's where Virginia Tech is, if I'm not mistaken. How far was that from, or how much as far as vicinity goes? Because you say you grew up in a small city called Stan, if I'm not mistaken. You said that.
Stan, yeah.
Yeah. How far is that from Blacksburg, and how much of a decision was that to be able to remain close in Virginia, family proximity wise?
So it's about like 2 hours, like an hour and 50. And to me, that was far away. I have James Madison is 20 minutes from my house. UVA is 30. So Tech was like far. But I wanted to stay in state. Like Virginia has really great schools, and I didn't really see a reason to go out of state. Plus, it's more cheaper to go in state.
Yes, it is. Yes, no question. I know I didn't get into my first choice, UGA. I just did not have the grades. I did not have the grades to get into UGA, so I went to Kennesaw State University, which is in Georgia, and that's where I graduated from. And like you, I have a master's degree as well. I just got my master's in 25 from Kennesaw State University. You went to Georgetown for your master's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I did.
Talk to me about the decision to go to Georgetown and acquire your master's.
So undergrad, I studied philosophy, politics, and economics, which is not sports related, like in any capacity.
Right.
Because it was senior year, I was like, when I decided I want to go into sports. So I was pretty much, on the tail end of, what you're supposed to kind of know already.
Right.
So I told myself, I was like, okay, if I really want to get into this industry, I need to commit. And the first step to committing is like getting the education that you need to, grow. So I was applying to a bunch of schools, and I heard back from Georgetown pretty soon after I applied. And I was like, it was very like flexible. So you can do it online, or you can come in, do it in class. And so I was able to do it online while I worked in the Virginia Tech athletic department. So it was not a hard decision once I got in. I was kind of like, yes, I'm going. And I really enjoyed it. Like, shout out to everybody, the Georgetown alumni staff. All of them are incredible. Cannot recommend that program enough if anybody is interested in it.
So another bonus, so are you a Hokie at heart, or are you a Hoya at heart? Because you're Hoyas and Hokie.
Yeah, I am a Hokie at heart, for sure. I actually stepped foot on Georgetown's campus until after I graduated. I mean, they're awesome. Whenever I see them playing or doing whatever, I'm like, heck yeah, that's like my team. And I have gear, I have merch from them.
I feel it. Okay.
I claim them, but I'm like, my college self is a Hokie.
I love it. That's what's up. That's pretty awesome. Now, while your time was there at Virginia Tech, you were a digital marketing coordinator. I would love to know, one, what entailed in that role? Like, what was your role? What was your responsibilities? How did you come about that role? And how long did you have it, and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's a really actually kind of a long story, but I'll make it very quick for you.
No, go ahead.
So,
make it as long as you need to. Don't matter.
Beautiful. So again, senior year, did not have any experience, like very little. I rode club, I dabbled in social media here and there, but it was nothing like good enough to get me a job.
Sure.
So I wrote my thesis senior year on sports and like the ACC athletics.
Oh yeah.
And then one thing about sports is if you don't advocate for yourself, nobody will. And I've always had the attitude that like the worst thing people can do is say no to me. And I'm
Absolutely.
like, I'd rather take no than not try, So I emailed a bunch of people in the athletic department at Virginia Tech, and I was like, I'll work for free. I'll do whatever. I will scrub the floors. I'll clean the locker rooms. I just want to work in athletics. So thankfully, our assistant AD, he reached back out. And he's like, okay, I'll take a meeting with you. And originally, I was going to be an unpaid intern. which again I was like, heck yeah, sports. I get to be here.
Right.
So to keep me at Virginia Tech, because this was like when I was about to graduate, I got a job at the financial aid office at Virginia Tech, being a student like financial aid advisor, while I was getting like my master's. So that like I got that job and kind of keep me there. Then Chris Helms, the AD that I talked to, he got me interviews like around the department. He was like, hey, I'll send you to Hokie Club, which is Virginia Tech's fundraising office.
Right.
They always need help. So I met with them. There, they were like, okay, let's interview you to be a hospitality person, like for Lane Stadium, which is our football stadium.
Yep.
So in that interview, my mentor and my former boss, Dylan McKitterick, he would hate that I'm like gassing him up because he's very humble, but he is so incredible. I owe so much to him. He emailed me after that interview and he was like, hey, we've got a job in our digital marketing office. I think you should, come with us. So he kind of poached me, which very thankful again that he did. So I interviewed with him and then got that role. So that job essentially was I was going to do email marketing and social media, but originally it was going to be more email and like less social.
Right.
But quickly when I got into that role, they found out that I am not as very email marketing-y as I needed to be probably. So
Right.
I kind of naturally, just went into social, and thankfully my former coworker Murphy, she was really email heavy and she's so smart, one of the smartest people ever. We kind of naturally split off, so she covered email and then I covered social. So I oversaw the Hokie Sports athletic account, and a big part of my role was, obviously game day coverage for football, basketball, etc. And what I kind of pushed myself into was more the student athlete storytelling, because I was like, we have so many student athlete stories, we have so many cool athletes here, like I just want to tell them.
Sure.
So I kind of started to, meet the coaches, meet all the athletes around Virginia Tech, and kind of forced my way into their lives. And they saw me coming and they're like, that's social media girl, like what does she want now?
Right.
But then I was able to cover like all of Virginia Tech sports in some capacity and work with amazing people. But it was a really rewarding job and I really loved it. And I was there for 2 years.
I love that. I do. I love it. Listen, you're right. You got to be assertive in this. Like you said, if you don't advocate for yourself, nobody will. It's kind of building your own portfolio, but it's also giving you a chance to get out there and put yourself out there to meet new people. And like you said, shout out to Dylan, shout out to Murphy. Sometimes when you network with the right people, they can put you in the right situations and opportunities come. And when opportunities speak of, sometimes you have to pounce on it and jump on it because you never know when them opportunities are going to come again, for sure. So I love that. I really do. I want to ask you some favorite questions, Spencer. And you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions, okay? So here we go. Let's rock with it. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh my gosh, Trader Joe's sweet potato gnocchi.
Ooh, okay. Now
I'm not a good cook, so I love that.
Well, yes. Well, that's the first thing that came up in my mind. When you said Trader Joe's, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe she don't cook a whole lot. But that's okay. That's all right. No judgment. No judgment here. Next time I pull up in Indy, I might have to say hello to you. We might have to do some Trader Joe's. That's for sure.
I'm always at Trader Joe's.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I love it. I love it. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh, this is going to make me One Direction when I was like 12.
Who don't like One Direction? One Direction is very good.
They were, and it's a flex, it was when they were all in the band.
Okay.
So, before Zayn Malik left. So
right.
The OGs will know.
Absolutely. No question. Drag Me Down is still one of my favorite songs. So it's still on my Pandora, for sure.
So good.
Absolutely. Okay, you with it. I like that. You like good music. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Alaska.
Okay, you got to tell me why the hell you went to Alaska. I'm intrigued. What is going on there, for sure?
So, years ago, my parents, they were like, we're going to take a family trip. And I was like, I think I was in middle school. And we didn't know what trip it was. So, Christmas Day, they surprised us. And they had a box. And they were like, open up the box. And it was a moose, ornament. And I remember looking at my parents, I was like, oh, oh, thank you so much for this ornament, Mom.
Right.
I love it. I don't know what you're to do with it.
Right.
Um, and then they were like, we're going somewhere. Where are there moose?
Oh my
Or
gosh.
and so we were just sitting there, and I was like looking at my sister, and she was like, oh my gosh, Alaska, because there was also like a cruise ship. I forgot there's a cruise ship
Oh, okay.
ornament with it.
Hmm.
So we did like a Disney cruise through Alaska, and it was incredible. I will go on my grave believing everybody needs to go to Alaska if they can once in their life. It was awesome. We like we were there for like a week or something, I want to say, and we got to go on glaciers. We got to see seal pups, and it was awesome.
Okay.
So that's like a great memory I remember. And just Alaska is the most beautiful place I've ever been to. So shout out to all the Alaskans.
Ain't no
Honestly, it's
doubt.
awesome.
No doubt. I listen. I've only been there once, but that was due to
Awesome.
that was an accident. I ain't gonna. I can't cap on that. It was an accident. I got on the wrong. Like I think I got on like the wrong like bus or something like that, and yeah, it took me to Alaska or something like that. Yeah, for real.
Okay.
But
What the-
I would say yeah, right. I would say that I have experienced the I think it's Norwegian cruise that you might have been on. Maybe the Norwegian cruise. It might have been that, but if not Disney, I definitely want to go on a Disney cruise one time. I know I'm a huge kid at heart, so I want to go there.
It was awesome. Like I can't remember how old I was, but they like cater hand and foot to parents, to kids, to teenagers. Like as a 25-year-old, I would still get on a Disney cruise.
Hello.
Like it's the best.
I feel you on that. I like that. That's pretty awesome. I would say Jamaica is my favorite place I've ever been to. Going there, I love jerk chicken, love beaches, love food, love water, all the above. So Jamaica was definitely my spot. I'm a sports person just like you, so I'm going to ask you this sports question. It's a two-parter. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
Favorite to watch on TV is tennis. Favorite sport to watch in person? Probably basketball or tennis. The only thing about watching in person in tennis is like I hate when you have to go.
Yeah, you get a
like
neck
the head
strain.
thing.
For sure. For sure.
But I love watching basketball. I mean, it's like the Final Four is like in my head, and it was so cool. So
okay, girl, you about to make me blush. You know how hard that is for a man of my pigmentation. I am a huge basketball fan. No question about that. Huge basketball. It's my number one sport. Who's your favorite tennis player?
So women, probably Arina Sabalenka.
Okay.
And on the men's side, Federer, and I love Carlos Alcaraz. He's always killing it. They're awesome. And also, shout out to Ben Shelton. He's an NCAA athlete.
Yes, no
Love
doubt.
Go Gators.
He's definitely one of my favorites for sure. I would definitely say I'm a Nadal guy for sure. I love Nadal, but I also love Coco Gauff. Madison
awesome.
Keys, Naomi Osaka. I like those three particularly very well. Okay, that's what's up. Now, last of the favorites. I'm a huge foodie, and I can't get enough, as I told you, of Indianapolis. So I want you to tell me, what is your favorite place to eat out at in Indianapolis?
So, it's a great question. My go-to spot is Chatham Tap on Mass Ave.
Ooh.
It's like the cutest little hole-in-the-wall bar. The same guys are always working in there. That place is like my go-to. But if I want like really, really good like food, the Livery also off of like near Mass Ave is fantastic. Their cauliflower, I'm vegetarian. Their cauliflower is incredible.
Oh, well, listen, you would be perfect to go with. I'm going to tell you that right now because I'm a carnivore. Leave the meat to me. No question about that. But I never heard about the delivery place. I did hear about that first place, though. I have heard about it. I have not been to it yet, but I did hear about it. I've heard good things. So, yeah, I'll definitely have to check those two places out next time I'm there for work or there for leisurely purposes. But I'll also, if you're still there, I'll have to say hello to you as well. No question about that. That's what's up. I love it. That's dope. This next question here has to do with your day-to-day. As a journalist, my no 2 days are never the same, especially a freelancer, because we call, we interview people, we talk to different people all the time. I talk to different publications, different networks, see what kind of stories I could pitch. When I was working every day in a publication or network, we did different stories. And that's one of the reasons why I love being a journalist, is because you get to do different things, talk to different people. You never know who impacts your life. I would love to know, what is your day-to-day operations in your current role? When do you start? When do you finish? How many different things are you doing? And stuff like that.
Yeah, so in my current role, I get started anywhere from like 8:30 in the morning, 9 a.m.,
Hmm.
depending on the day. And I start with like going through Instagram, Twitter, like looking through the feeds, seeing if there's any stories from the day before, seeing what people are talking about today,
Hmm.
really checking to see like what's going on, because obviously when social media, things change all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Um, and then like we have a task list, so I'll go through, and if I have posts going out the next day, like we schedule a lot of stuff and try to get ahead. So on our social media team, there's three of us. There's my boss Jalen Arndt, there's me, and then our lovely intern Bridget. So my boss will assign us stuff what she wants, or like if I find a story that I'm like, I think this is really cool, I want to jump on it, I'll put it into like our project management system, make the assets, or we have a lovely graphic and video team. And like if we need something from them, Kylan, our videographer, like, she makes awesome videos, and our graphic designers, they make incredible graphics. So it depends on like the level of like what we need. But I'll look up stories, and then create the assets, create the copy that needs to go with it, find out how it fits on the platform. So like, we try to put everything on like everything. So we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok. So like if we can have a video in it, how do we put that on TikTok? How do we put that on YouTube? What is doing well for us? That kind of thing. So it's a lot of kind of finding stories, which I love because I consider myself an FBI agent, and I just like love finding things. I literally like, it was so random. I was scrolling, as an example from today, I was scrolling a couple weeks ago, and I found this video of this former NCAA champion, gold medalist, Olympian, world record holder singing on stage, and I was like, what are you doing on stage? Then I looked it up, and he like released music. So I
Wow.
texted my boss, and I was like, hey, this is like checks all these boxes. So then I like published that today. But it's just like, you never know like what's gonna come up unless you're like scrolling. So whenever
Absolutely.
somebody comes by my desk and I'm looking at my phone, it looks like I'm like not doing work, but I'm like looking for stuff. So it's a lot of doing FBI stuff, and then doing social media analytics. So like we're big on like seeing what does well for us, making informed decisions that way. So looking at kind of engagement, impressions, which platform is performing the best, this month, what posts are doing the best, how do we, learn from that, how do we continue to emulate X, Y, and Z. So it's a lot of analyzing that stuff, and then we work with our championships teams, our divisional teams, to like get content out as well. It's kind of a lot of everything, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, and that's great. That's awesome. I love that breakdown. Now, give me like an example, because like you said, you just wrapped up the Final Four. So,
Hmm.
and for NCAA now, the season is going to be college baseball and softball, right? The college World Series is going to be coming around, and stuff like that. So tell me about, what is like a typical day when you don't have a big time event, right? For the NCAA, we're talking about Division I schools alone, 300 plus the schools,
Hmm.
like in Division I, and you also do stuff for Division II and Division III, as you said before. So NCAA is huge. How do you separate that from the three of you guys trying to break down the entire NCAA?
I mean, we have a lot of help. I will say we have a great editorial team.
Yeah.
Like our divisional teams are always, feeding us stories.
Mhm.
And also, like even when there's not a big event happening, we've got awareness months. There's like holidays. There's like tons of stuff. Like, so it's never really during the school year. At least it doesn't feel like there's ever really a stop. Obviously, there are times that it's much more. Like last week, for example, was like everybody all hands on deck, go 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 go.
Insane.
Yes, but we try to be very equitable, and like we don't want to post all basketball. We don't want to post all of one sport. Like
Yep.
the Masters are coming up this weekend. I think it started today. We're going to look at which student athletes are participating. Are there any stories that are coming from it? Because we don't have a golf account. So we're like, how do we, jump on golf? How do we jump on, tennis? How do we like jump on all these things that aren't like, to give them time on the page. But yeah, I will say, like, breaking everything down, it's a big effort, and it's a lot of people being like, hey, you know, we should jump on this, hey, we should jump on that. So all those three of us posting on the account, we have a whole entire team that's like supporting us and like kind of giving us feedback of what needs to go out where. So it's not all of us. We have a whole group.
I love that. Now, how did you come about in that particular role? I know I asked you about the digital marketing coordinator role, but how did that role stumble upon you?
So I was like, it's actually funny. It was like 2 weeks before my contract at Virginia Tech ended.
Right.
I was refreshing Teamworks and job boards like nonstop. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Right.
And then thankfully I found this job, and I was like, I looked at it and I was like, that's the one. That's the job.
Yeah.
So I like ran into my boss's office. He knew some people, like he knew my current boss. The Murphy, who I used to work with, she was a former PGIP, like one of our interns, so she knew people, and I was like, guys, this is my job. This is the one that I want. So I sent in an application, and it was kind of like I make a joke, like it's kind of one of those jobs where you just like, you're honored to be nominated, but you're not going to get the Grammy, you know? So
right.
I was like, when I got, you know, word back that, oh, like you're invited to a, you know, video interview, I was like, okay.
Okay.
And because I didn't think I was going to get the job, there was a lot less pressure, because I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to go through with this process, but if I don't get it, like I put my best foot forward and I can say that I was a top 10.
Right.
So after the phone interview, I got an email saying you're invited to Indianapolis, and I was like, what? So then I was like, okay, now if I'm going in person, like I was like, this is the job. So I went in person, and I tell everybody, like, there's a feeling that you get when your body is at peace.
Okay.
And like when your body knows you're supposed to be there. And I tell you, like, I was literally in front of the NCAA doors, and I was like, yep, this is exactly where I need to be. I was walking around Indianapolis the night before my interview, and I was like, yep, this is it. This is where I'm going to live. Everything was clicking. So the next day I was hyping myself up, and I was like, Dad, I'm going to go in there. I'm getting this job. Like, no one's going to stop me. And thankfully, like, they gave me the job. So
I love it.
Best decision ever to work here. And I'm really glad that they believed in me and gave me the position.
Absolutely, as they should. I mean, because obviously you do a tremendous work, and you're obviously you're obviously great at what you do, and you sound like you have a great team, great bosses, and just great people around you. But it goes to show that your persistence, and that's one of the words that came up in my mind as you were talking, is being persistent. Because you said you kept refreshing Teamwork online. It's real easy to get discouraged. I know personally, but applying at several hundred jobs and not hearing a call back, or getting a no, or getting thank you for applying, but we decided not to move forward with you. I got a plethora of those emails before I actually cracked into one of those jobs and be able to do that. But it just goes to show that people, you can get work if you keep on at it. Don't be discouraged by the no's, because you'll get a lot more no's than you will ever get yeses. But all it takes is one yes. And look at Spencer.
Correct.
Spencer got hers, and I got mine, and it's very possible that you can do it. So I love that. It bleeds into the next question, though, which is work-life balance, and also, I want to say mental health. The reason why I ask this question is because I've known a lot of people in this industry that have stepped away because of their mental health being affected. I know a lot of people have stepped away because of their work-life balance not being able to get balance. Me personally, I don't think work-life balance is the same for everybody. I don't think you're ever going to find 100% balance in this industry, especially because of just how we work, how we love it. But it's some sacrifices that just comes with it. I want you to tell me how you keep your mental health strong, but also still try to have that work-life balance, because you seem like a wonderful woman to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind being around you. I think your family and friends feel the same way about you as well, but you also seem very passionate about what you do. So how do you work in this industry and not feel either overwhelmed or burnt out?
I think that's a really common theme. I think my philosophy when I went into sports was like, I read somewhere, work hard in your 20s so that your life is easier. So I kind of went into sports thinking like, okay, I know I'm not going to be a millionaire out of this, but I don't want to be a millionaire because I'm rich because I get to do this. And that's like how I perceive that. And I will say, when I was on campus, like, I told myself, I was like, you're going to put in all the work now because it's going to pay off.
Yep.
So when, the hours were super long on campus, especially as a social person, like, I was pretty much being like, there's always something happening. You have to check your phone and do this. So there wasn't a whole lot of work-life balance, but I literally was like, this is all going to pay off. And I know, like, it's a grind right now, but eventually, like, it's going to be fine. And I also loved it. So I kept telling myself, like, even when, like you said, like, it's mental health, I was like, a bad day in sports is still a much better, day anywhere else.
Right.
And it just took, like, seeing fans get so excited, about the players, or like just the player, like, being able, like, looking at the student athletes and they're so excited. And then I just remembered, like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. You are, watching, people's dreams come true, and you're like, you get to do this. Yeah. I always say I get to do this job. And so I'm a big runner. So whenever I need a break, I will go on my little run, go on my lunch run if I'm working from home, run after work, get those 30 minutes of just, like, tone everything out, zone out. I will say in my current role, there's a lot more work-life balance, which I really appreciate. Obviously, like, weekends we work when we need to, like, for championships or whatever, but we really are very, adamant of, like, we don't want burnout, because this industry is, like you said, like, it's really easy to get that way. And yeah. I think a lot of people that work in sports are workaholics. Like, I know I am one myself. So it takes people being like, hey, you're not on right now, for me to be like, right, I'm not on.
For sure.
But yeah, I would just say, like, if people are burnt out, like, take time for yourself, turn your phone off. Like, I'm on my phone 24/7, but I will put my phone away and I'm like, I'm not looking at this right now. And yeah, I think, like, I just say, like, I get to do this job. And, like, I tell people, like, even the other day when we were at the Final Four, I was like looking around and I was like, I would do this for free. I get paid to do this.
Right.
It's like, this is awesome.
Right. Absolutely. No, that's a really terrific answer, Spencer. It really is. And it's a question worth asking. It really is, because people, look at this industry and they're like, man, you must have it made. It's the beautiful girl in front of the camera, the handsome guy in front of the camera, or the anchor, the reporter that's doing their thing, or they must have it made. But they really don't know all that what goes into it. And there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you got to deal with. There's a lot of sacrifices you have to deal with. And just like any industry that you do go into, there's sacrifices done. But we're talking about the media, right? So, people don't understand that you do work through holidays. You do miss time with your family. You do miss time to turn up with your friends. There's been many times I've been invited out to the bar and I said, you know what? I'm doing a story. I'm writing this. I can't come to the bar. Or there's many times where people say, man, there's a party going on and I'm traveling. I'm traveling to a game. I'm driving to a game. I'm interviewing a coach or a player, right? And then there's times where you have, like you said, oh man, you don't make a whole lot of money. Well, I'm not really in this for the money. Like, I'm in this for the passion, the love that I have for storytelling, for the love I have for media, for the love I have for people. Like, I'm rich off that. You said something earlier. You said I'm rich off that, which I feel the same way. I feel like this is a calling more so than a job. And when you feel like it's a calling more than a job, you wake up every day thinking it's not work. You're just ready to do it. So I love your attitude. But again, it bleeds into this question that I have now, which is advice. Right now that you are an undergraduate, now that you are a master's graduate and stuff like that, I want to ask you, what kind of advice would you give an individual that wants to do the job that you're doing? Right? You have that intern Bridget that's there. I'm sure she's asked you questions. I'm sure she's asked your boss questions. What kind of advice would you give people that want to do the job that you're doing, Spencer?
That's great question. I would tell people, you've got to advocate again for yourself. The worst thing somebody could say is no. Like, that's literally it, and you're still going to be alive, you're going to be fine. And understand that when you get into this industry, it is a grind. You have got to work, like, everybody wants, well, I don't want to say everybody, lots of people want your job. And obviously, like, you need to balance it out, but I think especially when I started, I was pretty adamant of, like, I will do the job nobody wants to do. I'll do, like, I used to do DV Sport Replay, like, with the cameras and whatever.
Yeah.
And to me, while that obviously does not look like it translates to social media very well, to me, I got to learn all about wrestling moves because I did a lot with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what to look for in soccer. Then the coaches saw me around on campus, and they're like, "Oh, she does social and she does DV sport." That made me more valuable because I could learn how to do these things if I needed to.
Sure.
So like I did that, and nobody wanted to do that, but I was like, this is so fun. I get to sit at the scoring table and play with the camera. So definitely do the jobs nobody wants to do. Trust in timing. It will work out. That's kind of like when you said earlier about, like applying for jobs and getting discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
I applied for so many jobs, and I just told myself, it's going to work out. The job that's meant for me is going to find me, and I literally was just like, it's going to work out because it has to. There's literally no other option. So
Right.
But I'm an extremely positive person. So
Me too.
That's like my attitude anyways.
Me too.
But I would say, yeah, like, don't let the no's dissuade you because somebody has to do the job and it might as well be you. Reach out, talk to whoever. I would say, like, people reach out to me on LinkedIn and like, I do similar things, like talk to them and I try to give them best advice. But to me, it's like when somebody reaches out, I'm like, oh, their name is now in my head. Like, I recognize this name. So if I see stuff that would maybe apply to them, like, put them through the door. Networking is a good friend of yours in sports.
1,000%.
That is for sure.
Yes.
Sports industry is small, so definitely network too. But those are my pillars of advice.
I
That's
love
a lot, but
No, listen, that's effective. I love that. I really do. And I would just piggyback off that and add to it because what a masterpiece that you just said right there. I love that.
thank you.
Networking is very important. No question about that. That's how I pretty much found all my positions. I was able to network. I go to different sports career fairs or sports conferences, pass out business cards, have resumes there, network with people. You just never know who you're going to meet at some of these events. It's one of the reasons why I was able to cover the Super Bowl last year because of networking. I'm like, yo, that is crazy. And then continue to network at the Super Bowl. Another thing that you said that was great was being able to do different things. I always tell, especially because I also sub-teach as well. So I sub-teach and I teach K through 12, but especially for the high schoolers that's about to go off to college that want to be in the communication field, I'd let them know, try everything. Do not limit yourself. This communication field is super wide open as far as jobs. Like, you do not need to limit yourself to a station or a publication. You have so many different roles that people don't even know about, which is, again, another reason why I do this podcast, because people need to learn of these roles and that you just might find them interesting and fun for you. Try everything: producing, directing, radio, writing, whatever you want to do. Social media, like you do.
Yeah.
I just try to advocate for that as well, because sometimes people get kind of lost in the sauce. Like, oh man, I don't know if I can do that, or try it. You never know what you can do unless you try it. Be assertive, like we talked about earlier. So I think that's great advice that you gave, Spencer. I really do.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, we have reached the portion of my podcast now that we're going to play my interactive game called This or That. It is a game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. And it's very simple. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, Spencer, are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Out of these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather sit down and eat at? Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Ooh, okay. How do you like your steak? Oh,
I mean, I don't eat steak, but I'm vegetarian, but I've been to Longhorn Steakhouse more, I think.
Got you. Enough said.
And they have really good rolls.
Okay. Well, let me ask this bonus question then. Which restaurant would you rather go into? Red Lobster, or would you rather go into Olive Garden?
Olive Garden.
Pasta person, I see. Okay, I got you. I like that. All right. These next 5 questions have to do with music concerts that you rather attend. Okay, so I'm going to be bouncing from different genres because I know I like all genres. How about yourself when it comes to music?
I'll listen to anything. I'm pretty basic though. Like, I will be honest.
I'm with you on that. Okay, so here we go. First one, and they're going to get harder as we go, Spencer. So rock with me. Which concert would you rather go to, Beyonce or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Okay, you was very definitive on that. I like that. Riri. I will go see Riri too. Okay. Which music concert would you rather go see? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Drake.
Okay, all right, I'm with you on that. That you definitely going against the grain there, because a lot of people on this platform has picked Kendrick, but I love that. I love that you backed that. That's pretty cool. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Taylor Swift or
Taylor Swift. You don't even have to tell me the next one.
I was gonna say One Direction.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I already saw One Direction, so Taylor Swift.
Okay, but you paused on that. You did. That wasn't definitive.
I mean, I literally in the room over here, I literally have a Taylor Swift poster framed. So.
I got you. So to me, my favorite album of hers, and I know you like all her albums, but my favorite album was the 1989 album. I thought that album was really good. Wildest Dreams is one of my favorite songs,
Great song.
If not a classic in my mind. But this new album that she came out with, The Fate of Ophelia, is definitely one of my favorite songs as well. It's a good song, no question. Okay, so Taylor Swift for you. Which music concert would you rather go see, Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs?
Luke Combs.
Okay. I like how definitive you're being, Spencer. You are not waffling on any of these. I love that. Last one of the music. Which music concert would you rather go see, Usher or Chris Brown?
Usher.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
He helped create Justin Bieber, so I gotta give him credit where credit's due.
So let me guess, you're a Justin Bieber fan?
So, no hate on Justin. I liked him when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
When, I was in One Direction, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, gal. And Never Say Never, that's a great movie. So,
Right, it is a good movie. It is. No doubt.
Good movie.
No doubt. I'm with you on that. Okay. Do you like desserts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to name 4 categories of desserts. You have to choose one of these categories to get rid of. Okay, so here we go. The first category is ice cream. The second category is cookies. The third category is candy. The last category is grouped together. So it's going to be cake/pies. Which one are you getting rid of?
Cake. I don't like cake.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Now, let me ask you, what is your favorite ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip.
That's starting to become a very popular one here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, but I have to be honest with you and keep it a buck. I've never had that flavor. I've never tried mint chocolate chip before. Interesting. Okay, but it's a popular flavor. A lot of people like that. Okay. Do you like potato chips?
Yes, but I'm not I'm not going to go for that at a grocery store,
I feel it. Now, this is the same format as the last one. I'm going to name 4 brands of potato chips. You have to choose one of these to get rid of. Okay, so here we go. The first brand is Doritos. The second brand is Lay's. The third brand is Ruffles. The last brand is Pringles. Which one are you getting rid of?
Lay's.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Now, if you and I walked into a grocery store, Spencer, and I said, please go to the chip aisle and buy your favorite chip to eat, what are you buying?
Oh my gosh. I forget the brand name, but it's the salt and vinegar chips. They're on the bottom row of the grocery store. They're oh my gosh. They're salt and vinegar chips, but it's a very specific brand and I can't think of it. And they're literally at the bottom shelf. They're going to be if you walk to the grocery store, they're going to be on the right. They're usually on the right. I don't know why I'm nobody knows what I'm talking about, but they're salt and vinegar chips. And they're at the bottom.
Spencer, we was doing really damn good until that answer. We was rowing down the boat, the stream, and then you just fell off the boat. I'm gonna say.
But I think.
Go ahead.
Plain potato chips, I'll just eat French fries. It doesn't make. That's just not. They're not flavorful. But salt and vinegar, it's and salt and vinegar because if you eat it tells you when to stop eating because the chips kind of. I don't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no doubt. You're right about that. I'll give you this. My chip thing is salt and vinegar is the second worst chip ever made. And you're probably saying, wow, second worst chip. Well, yeah, kettle chips are third. Whoever made kettle chips, God bless their heart. But the first worst chip ever made is Funyuns. Whoever in their right mind made Funyuns need to be just smacked. I don't know what. Please don't tell me you like Funyuns.
Those were my favorite snack as a kid.
Oh my God, Spencer, what the hell? We probably just going to have to go to a ball game. We can't eat together. We cannot eat together because you are.
No,
Mm-mm.
that's like me and my dad's like bonding thing. When I was a kid, he would like, Mom, if you're listening, shut up, don't listen. He would take me to get a bag of Funyuns, and I would like eat it in the car before I got home. So, and then like we'd hide it.
Okay, that's so. But they wouldn't smell the breath of the Funyuns. Like they wouldn't know that Funyuns came in there.
I mean, probably.
Probably,
I probably
yeah.
wasn't very
I'm
slick.
just saying. Okay. Well, listen. You got a lot going for you, Spencer. So you can't have it all. You can't have it all. We can't have it all. That's just the way it is. Let me go back to sports. Which sport out of these two would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch football or baseball?
Probably football.
Okay. Which sport of these two would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Badminton.
Are you a good bowler?
No, I'm a terrible bowler. But I have played badminton before, and I'm bad, but I'm not like that bad.
Okay. You did tell me non-athletic, but there got to be some sport out there which later on we'll get to. There got to be some sport that I think in your mind you could dominate at. I want you to think about that, ponder that, because that question's coming back. Okay, so here we go. You were very good on this or that, except your chip take, but other than that, you were very good. I love it, and that's awesome. Now, this next question is called bucket list. Reason why is why I want you to speak it into existence, okay? I want you to give me a top 4 list of stories or events that you would like to do in your career that you haven't done yet.
Okay, 4 you said?
4.
Wimbledon. That's always like at the top of my list.
Okay.
Olympics.
Hell yeah.
Summer Olympics.
Hell yeah.
What else? 3 and 4. Gotta think on it. Hang on.
That's okay. That means it's a good question if it got you thinking.
Wimbledon, Olympics.
Any basketball event, any college football event. I know you say you're a huge college football fan. What about the championship?
Yeah, but that's not like a top 4. That's like on my list, but that's not like top of the list.
Okay, so you got Olympics, you got Wimbledon.
Oh, U.S. Open. I'd love to do the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Okay.
And then 4.
I mean, you got the Australian Open, you got the French Open for tennis.
Yeah, but I don't want all tennis on there. There's more.
Okay.
I guess. Oh, I would love to go to like a skiing championship or something. That would be super cool. I think skiing is like a sick sport, so that'd be fun.
Do you guys do that for the NCAA?
Yeah, we have a skiing. They wrapped up, I want to say February, but the photos were so cool. I was like, I want to be there. And there was like moose at the track or like the course, like by the course, and I was like, that sounds like fun.
That's great.
And they get to go to cool places like Utah and like Montana and stuff.
Okay, all right, that's pretty dope. I like that. Now let me ask you, what is some advice, because we talked about advice you would give someone, but what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
So always bet on yourself. That's great advice I was given. That's like the best advice ever. Trust your gut, trust your instincts. I think that just is important in all things in life. And always be humble and be kind, because you're gonna work your way up, but the people that they helped get you there, and you should always be nice, be kind, have manners, treat everybody, golden rule, like you'd want to be treated. That's like probably the all-time best advice ever.
Oh, for sure.
Because nobody wants to be a jerk.
For sure. No question about that. I love that. I love that advice that you just gave. When it comes to you working now, what is the longest shift that you've had to work, and what is the shortest amount of time that you had to work in a day?
In my current role, you said?
Yeah.
Um, to honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. It kind of all flows together. Like, there's not really like
Mm,
a quote unquote a short day because like Monday through Friday it's like 9 to 5, and then weekends it just depends on the event. So like I would say this weekend was pretty long just because it was back to back to back. But like
right.
because of the weekend, this week is a little bit shorter because we like worked all those hours. So now we're more like light this week, if you will.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I would say it kind of all evens out. There's not really a definitive.
Take me through it. Like this past final, it's not this final four, but this the NCAA tournament. When you got 32 games, and when you got like several games or like tournament games where you got like 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a day. Take me through trying to do social media for all that. Keep up with the social media. That has to be kind of crazy when you have those
Well,
particular games like that.
we are not covering all the games. We have their like March Madness. They've got contractors. They're doing stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of the amplification, so we don't really come in as
Oh,
far as like actual coverage until kind of the end. And we're even then we're not doing like live coverage. We're more there again, still looking for student athlete stories and things like that. So there is a lot going on, but there is like we do not do all of that. So
mm.
credit to all the contractors, our championships team, and everybody involved. Because yeah, that would be crazy working 32 plus games.
Yeah, because like I said, when you think of NCAA, I mean, it's like you got the four different regions, and like you said, it takes a lot of people. I'm like, man, that's a lot of coverage. There's a lot of, tweeting. There's a lot of trying
Mm-hmm.
to search for stories. There's a lot of athletes to do that. Uh, can you give me a couple of different stories, a couple of different times, and some of your favorite times of you doing this particular job or being in sports that you remember?
Definitely when I was at Virginia Tech covering the national championship for men's wrestling, that was super fun. We had a wrestler 3 years ago. My first year at Virginia Tech, like working, he won a national championship in his weight class, and I was like on the sticks, or I say on the sticks, like on line covering the
Right,
event, and
right.
it was like one of my most favorite moments because I got to like be a small part in him, achieving one of his goals. And plus, like, I cannot give enough credit to like our wrestling program at Virginia Tech. They're just awesome people, and so I really loved like working alongside them. So being able to cover that from the Virginia Tech like social media and celebrating this like great accomplishment was awesome, and definitely one of like my this is my why moment.
Mhm.
That definitely covering the women's wrestling championship here was
Wow.
incredible. It was the first ever like NC women's wrestling championship. So
Right.
again, meeting those wrestlers and like hearing their stories as female wrestlers was just like it was just so inspiring, and being able to be there for this like historic event, I was like, this is cool. This is really cool.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm falling asleep at the wheel. I had no idea there was like a separate women's wrestling championship. I'm thinking the women is on the
Mm-hmm.
men's team, but I didn't know that it was like a separate women's championship or tournament that was going on.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That is pretty neat. Well, shout out to you for working both of those wonderful events. I want to do some rapid fire with you. It's a little different from this or that. The first thing that comes
Okay.
into your mind, I want you to shout it out with glee. Okay, no pun intended. So here we
Okay.
go. All right. Favorite color.
Blue.
Okay. Favorite TV show or Netflix TV series.
Friends.
Friends. That's a throwback, girl. Okay.
That's my favorite best show of all time.
I got you. Okay. I'm with you on that. I love your old soul. Favorite sandwich.
Grilled cheese, probably.
Okay. Favorite board game.
I don't like board games, honestly. But if I had to
Mm-hmm.
choose,
Mm-hmm.
ugh, I can't even think of a board game other than Monopoly, if I'm being honest, and I hate Monopoly.
Well, let's roll with that then. We're gonna roll with it. Favorite card game.
Uno.
Okay. Who don't like Uno? Hit you with them draw fours all day long. Okay. Favorite alcoholic drink.
Aperol Spritz, probably.
Okay. Pancakes or waffles.
Waffles.
Juice or soda.
Juice.
Green beans.
Unless it's a Diet Coke.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Diet Cokes are the best thing ever.
yes, it is. No question. No cap on that one. Green beans or asparagus.
Asparagus.
Okay. If you had a choice to choose 3 people with you, so it's 3 plus 1 equaling 4, with you to go on vacation with, where would you go and who would you choose? Now, Spencer, before you choose, you could choose celebrities, friends, or family.
Oh, well, oh my gosh, where would I go? Oh, I really want to go to the Azores in Portugal. So that's where I would go.
Okay.
And who would I bring? You know what? I would bring my best friend Lila.
Shout out Lila.
Best friend Reese.
Shout out Reese.
Shout out Reese and Lila. I'm going to go see them next week. And who would be... Oh, and my sister. My sister's so cool. So I'd bring Addison along.
Okay. Well, shout out those 3 wonderful ladies. No question about that, for sure. I'm hoping all of them are ladies.
Reese is a guy, but yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was about to retract my statement. Shout out to 2 ladies and Reese. No doubt. And you said you would go to Portugal?
Portugal, I'd go to the Azores, and Madeira, I think is the island. I want to go there so bad. And hydrangeas are my favorite flower, and those are like all over the Azores. So.
I love it.
I could be saying that wrong.
I love that though. That's what's up. That's the first time I've ever heard of that on here on my podcast for sure. Now, I want to ask you this. If you had a choice to choose between 3 songs or 3 artists to listen to on repeat and never get tired of them, who would be the 3 artists or 3 songs that you would listen to?
Taylor Swift.
Of course.
One Direction.
Of course.
Just because they're also... Third one. Ooh, hang on. Wait, I'm gonna look at my Spotify real quick.
That's okay. That's all right. You got to throw some hip hop up in there, girl. You got Taylor Swift. You got One Direction. You got to put some hip hop. Got to put a little something different on that thing, in my opinion. Or you can possibly go the country route too, but Taylor Swift is kind of that.
Yeah. Oh, you know who I've really been into recently?
Who?
Odrin Murphy. He's like kind of a folksy artist. His stuff is awesome. Oop. I would listen to him.
All right. Was that Odrin right there?
No, that was not. That was just my phone going off. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good.
I accidentally clicked on a song and I was like, wait, that's not.
You're totally good. Okay. Now remember, I told you we're coming back to this. What is a sport that you play that you think you would dominate in? Be really good.
I was a runner growing up, so I could dominate in cross country. I think if I trained enough, I could go back to that. I was a runner in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that, but yeah, I think I'd have to stick to running because that's like, I love running and I'm not very coordinated and there's not a lot of coordination in that.
I understand that. Now, what is a sport that you would play that you would absolutely suck in? Like you would be the absolute worst? That's
a really good question. Probably basketball, if I'm being honest. I played like growing up and I think I was okay for like little league, but put me in I recently tried to play basketball again and it was just like, you might as well not.
Well,
I like to observe.
Listen, I don't know if you like to play, I used to play horse and pig a lot. I mean, obviously the shooting games. I'm a huge basketball proponent. That's my sport right there. I would say hockey is my worst because I can't skate worth a damn.
Yeah.
Cannot skate.
That's a good one. I also think I would be so bad at tennis. Like, tennis is like, I love tennis, but I think I would be so bad at it, so I don't even want to try because I'm like, this is going to like, it's like you say don't meet your heroes. Like,
right.
Like, I don't want to meet my favorite sport and be like, you suck.
Right. I understand that. Now, are you a long distance cross country runner, or are you one of those like short, fast, and compact?
Oh no, I'm not fast. I have a lot of endurance. I can run my daily run or try to be daily is like at least 3 miles TBD. But
oh my gosh. Okay. Have you done a marathon before?
I've done a half. Not in a marathon.
Got you. Yes, and I barely got past the 3.2 miles in that 5K marathon. Barely. No question about that. I am not a runner, but you put a ball in my hand, it's a little different. That's for sure. No question. I'm with you on that. Now, if you had a choice to choose a different role outside of being the role that you are in social media, what role would you want to pursue in sports and why?
Maybe like a broadcaster or something.
I love it.
I think that would be fun. I don't like being in front of the camera. I like being behind, but like, I think it could be fun to like switch it up.
That's where I was gonna go. I was gonna go there next, but you took that away. But why? Let me ask you, why don't you like? Because you definitely have the face for being in front of the camera. I think people will pay attention to what you have to say as well. You seem like you're pretty knowledgeable about sports. Why wouldn't you want to be in front of the camera?
Thank you. I don't know. Like I really like, telling people stories from behind the scenes. Like,
sure.
And I'm also like incredibly awkward in person. So like, I think I would just be like, I'm got really long arms and like, I don't think it would work.
I totally understand.
Plus being under pressure and being like having to come up with words like, oh.
Sure, when that red light is on, it's a little different when it hits record, for sure. But listen, I think you have done an amazing job on this particular conversation.
Oh, thank you.
No question about it. And I think you're an amazing person. I really do appreciate your time of coming on to my podcast and really just talking about what you do, talking about your story, talking about your why. I think people need to know about your job role because, like I said, it's a unique kind of job role that you do for the NCAA, and the fact that you have a lot of people behind it, but really kind of three main people out front, but you have like a village behind you that's helping you out is amazing. You guys put on a heck of a show. I mean, even with the social media clips and the tweets and all the things that were advertised that we saw online and everything, that to me, that was just amazing. So I'm a new fan of yours, Spencer, and
thank you.
Whatever you do in your future endeavors, no question about that. So my final question to you before I let you go is there anything else you would like to add about your job, the media, anything at all before we conclude?
Anything I want to add? Honestly, just if you want to get into sports, do it. It's the best field to work in. I am so thankful for everybody who has gotten me here and my whole team I work for. They're incredible. I would just say if you want to work in an industry with the best people in the entire universe, sports is where to go. But I'm incredibly biased, but it's the best. So.
And damn it, that's okay, because I'm biased with you. Absolutely. This industry is absolutely amazing. It takes you places that you would never thought you have been, or would go, I should say. So, yes, thank you so much, Spencer, for hopping on my podcast and being a part of the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. And you and I will most certainly be in touch. And you take care and enjoy your Thursday and also enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No doubt. You take care.
Bye.